I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, gotta get it, no call it quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stress, shield my greed. That's how I get it. Success ain't no given. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't want it when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem, man. Perfect, let them watch me. Elevating, got them nauseous. Cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the option. Woo! Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Woo!
It's time! Welcome to DFS by the Numbers with your host, Brady.
Better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
What is up? We are ready. Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is best bet for UFC Vegas 83. We got Yadong going against Chris Gutierrez. We have an 11-fight card today. A card that does not start until another 2 hours. Like, one of the latest starts I've seen in some time. So it's going to be a late night. The fights probably don't end till like 1:30, maybe even later, depending on the pacing. So, yeah, we're in for a long one. But, yeah, looking forward to the card. We are here with Gordo. Gordo, you're 9 cards in. You have 1 card left. You're sitting in 3rd place. You're only, 23 units away. I mean, this could be the week you go out there and take 1st place.
It could. I like the optimism you got going on there, but like you mentioned, it is a card with only 11 fights, so I only get 1 pass, and with those 10 bets, I'm swinging for the fences, man. I don't care what happens here. I'll end up in the plus money no matter what, right, the way I'm right now. So let's go. Let's try to get that 1st place claimed, and let's have some fun with this card, right? With a card that is so late, with a card that is, a bit subpar. Let's throw some big plus money out there and see what hits.
Yeah, for sure. I will be going as well today, giving my last card of the year. I am sitting in 5th place, and I am like 39 units behind 1st place right now, Cody Blood Money. So I need to absolutely shoot for the fences. So I'll be doing that, trying to work my way into 1st. And then next week, we're actually going to have, I think, 2 best bet shows because we still have 7 more guys to go next week. I'm thinking of splitting up a show, maybe doing 4 guys on Friday, 3 guys on Saturday. So next week, going to have a ton of content to finish up this best bet show and see who gets the win there. All right, guys, before we get into it, if you guys could please do me a favor, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have not already, go subscribe to Gordo as well. And I want to shout out the chat. We got Sean V, first one in here. What is up, Sean V? We got Cam. We got Nervins, Shootproof, Chris, Travis. We got Carta, Logist, DB, what is up? Elias, Kristen in the chat. We got my guy Forrest, Stacks, Mark Schillenberg in the room. We got Carlos, Damari, Melon, what is up, Melon? Sleepy, and Tyler, what is up, everybody? McD, I see you as well. What is up, guys? All right, I say we get into it. Jermaine, I see you as well. What's up? All right, I say we get into it. We're going to start with the first fight on the card. And we got Ryan Amanda Dos Santos going against Talita Allanar. We got Amanda sitting at -151, Allanar sitting at +131, a line that hasn't moved too much throughout the week. Gordo, I'll let you kick us off. What do you like for the first fight of the card?
Yeah, man, I think this is one that is going to be a lower level affair, to say the least. So it's one that we could get a lot of variance in. And what we have here is 2 girls making their debut who didn't even get a win on Dynamite Contender Series. So it's an interesting setup here nonetheless, but one where you have a bit of a contrasting styles, right? We saw Allanar go out there and be a one-dimensional fighter, and something that when she wasn't able to get her plan off, was able to struggle in striking in that 3rd round there, versus someone in Amanda who did face a better level of competition, who has been in the cage more, but someone who just didn't really excel. It's like a well-rounded fighter in Amanda versus a one-dimensional fighter in Allanar. And I think when it comes down to my best bet, I think maybe that you go Allanar spread points +3.5 and over to cover her getting those early rounds. But when it comes to a show like this, and I need to cover some ground, and I need to go out there and I need to catch people in 1st place, we want some big plus money. And for me this week, I'm going with Allanar to win in rounds 1 or 2 at +550. Now, if we look at Allanar's style, she is a very, very, very good grappler on the ground. Last time, not only did she slow down But in that third round, she didn't really show that she had the same strength. And what we have here was she was facing someone who was huge, someone who was a lot bigger than her last time in the White Contender Series. And now she's facing Rand Amanda, who is an atomweight, who usually fights at 105, whereas you see Allanar grappling all the way up to 130 pounds. I do think she's had the ability to actually use her takedowns and threaten positions here. And a couple times when we saw Amanda slip off or end up in bottom position, she has been submitted. She has been taken advantage of. And I do think Allanar can go out there and be the better, more dominant grappler, potentially getting a finish. I love the plus money number. Maybe not the safest bet of all of them, but I think it happens more than plus 550 in tails.
Yeah, I mean, we can't be safe. I mean, if we're gonna catch Lou Betcha in blood money, we can't be safe here. And yeah, I like that play. I think if Allanar wins, it could be early on. I'm gonna go the complete opposite direction and go with Dos Santos, and I'm gonna go with Dos Santos late. I don't like Allanar's cardio. I know she slowed down really, really bad on the Contender Series. She was exhausted after the first round, and that third round was just a terrible look. I mean, she was very, very close to getting out of there, getting knocked out in that third round. She is very tough, I will say that, and Amanda's not really a knockout threat, but this Amanda round 3 knockout prop at plus 3,500. I mean, if I hit this, it'll get me right back into the swing of things. So I'm gonna go Dos Santos, Amanda late third round KO plus 3,500. I thought about maybe just doing the round 3 in general, but as Lou Betcha says, the KO 3 pays more and pays much, much more. So we're both kind of kicking it off with a bang here. Give me Dos Santos KO 3. You're taking Allanar 1-2, and hopefully one of us is correct in this one.
Hey, we see it the same way though. You got her. I took Allanar round 1 and 2 because she could fade in round 3. If she does, you can get paid out pretty well.
100%. I even thought about maybe Allanar round 1 as well. So yeah, we're seeing the fight the exact same way. Santos KO 2-3, 13-1. That's kind of what I'm leaning. Don't feel amazing about it, but we'll see if it can happen there. We got Waldo in the chat. Waldo's in the chat. We got Damari with the dono 499. Appreciate Damari saying best bets is the best sports betting show. Hope you do it again next year, Brady. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. Always love doing the best bet show, and it seems like a lot of people do like it. Allanar definitely has a chin art. Yes, she does. I've seen her eat like 5 flush knees to the face and just keep on going. And Forrest saying, don't forget to smash the like button. I agree. And then Sleep is saying, take Amanda. I'm going to pick Amanda, but I'm shooting for the moon there with that round 3. All right, we'll move on to the next fight. We got Tyara going against Carlos Hernandez. We got Tyara, the second, actually now the first biggest favorite on the card since money has came in on one Shannon Ross. So we now have the biggest favorite on the card, Tyara, minus 625. And I'm going to be a little bit conservative here compared to my last play especially. I'm just going to go with Tyara to win by sub, plus 115. I mean, we're taking a minus 625 favorite. And in my opinion, giving him his best win condition. I don't think Tyra's knocking out anybody anytime soon. I could see a decision, though. Hernandez, he's not some bum grappler, although he was submitted in 2 fights ago. He's a brown belt or black belt, I believe. But yeah, I just think Tyra is so slick on the mat. I think he's going to have no trouble getting takedowns here. And once he is on the mat, I think he's going to get opportunities. I don't know if it's in the first, second, or third round, so I'm not going to go like a round here. I really can't even pick a round. I don't know. But, what I do know is I think he's going to get multiple opportunities across the 15 minutes to find that sub. Plus 115, nothing crazy, but I think it's very live here. Gordo, what are you liking for Tyara Hernandez?
I'm right there with you, man. And I also went conservative on this one too. The only reason I'm going to be a bit different than you is I do think a positional ground and pound is live. And I was debating taking the KO at plus 650, but I do see him be more submission oriented in these spots here. So I'm just going to go the inside the distance line. It's not as good of a price tag as the sub, but I cover my bases more. I see best available minus 135 when I did my notes here. And I do think that he's able to go out there and get a ground win against Hernandez. Now, whether it be a submission, which I expect, or a positional ground and pound spot here, I'll be covered either way. I do think he leans towards that grappling more, but whenever you have someone who's as dominant and flows as well from top position, the ability to pound them out is always there. So I was leaning towards that, but we'll be a bit more conservative here.
All right, so we're both kind of along the lines of thinking of, Tyra should get this guy out of there. He should. So we'll see what happens there. Let's see. We got Asai in the chat. Brady, my brother, what's up? Been a minute, but finally made a live show. Welcome. Looking forward to this card. Kind of a late night card. Should be fun. McD put a sprinkle on Ross. We'll definitely talk about the Ross fight. Definitely talk about the Ross fight. Yeah, Tyra by KO is big plus money. It is big plus money. Ground and pound, it could be in play. Don't sleep on Hernandez. I mean, everybody is, I think, Johnny. I mean, I think every single person sleeping on Hernandez. We got Tyara just as a massive favorite, probably even too big of a favorite, but it's hard for me to personally go out there and pick Hernandez here. I don't think his takedown defense is good enough. Tyra sub 2-3 plus 300. I can see it. And the undefeateds get humbled in UFC week. That is true. I just don't know if it's Tyra's time yet. And last one, Sean saying Tyra dominant decision, no power, and won't get Hernandez out of there by sub. I don't know. I think the sub could be live, but we shall see. Sean. All right. We'll move on to the next fight. We got Stephanie Edgar going against Luana Santos. Yeah, I mean, we have Luana Santos minus 152, Stephanie Edgar plus 132. Santos was, I think, the only fighter that missed weight, which was very weird considering, her last fight was at flyweight. Her last, few fights were at flyweight. She comes up a weight class and weighs in 139, missing weight for the first time in her career. I'm very puzzled. Like, I'm not sure what happened. Is there an injury? Did she not try to cut the weight? I mean, it makes no sense to me, but, she missed weight nonetheless. Gordo, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this one. What is your best bet for Stephanie Edgar, Luana Santos?
I'll tell you this straight off the bat. It is going to be just Edgar money line, and I was on her before the weight miss, and I kind of think it bodes well for Edgar for having Santos miss weight like that. I don't think it's someone who I thought necessarily had to miss weight. Like you mentioned, she is coming up in weight here. I didn't expect Santos to be the one to miss weight here, so that could play into something. But I think when we look at just the overall body of work, it's hard for me to justify Santos as a big favorite. I know she had a good first-round performance last time, but against a different level of competition. And now not only taking that step up in weight, but doing so with a style that really doesn't play into a good victory over Edgar, in my opinion, doesn't bode too well. You look at how both these girls like to fight. They're both judokos. They're both people who like to fight in the clinch, both people who like to use their strength to their advantage. And I think when it comes to who's going to have the ability to land on top, dictate these positions, it's going to be the bigger, more experienced fighter here in Edgar, someone who I think wins this fight more than the line entails. So I'm on the plus money side here. I think, of course, at a distance striking battle, I don't like Edgar's metrics, but she's able to stay calm, utilize her skill sets here. And I think she's able to dictate the clinch position. So for that reason, I think that the most likely outcome is Edgar's able to get top position and win that way. I'm not certain how it comes, so I'm just going to be conservative with the money line, and hopefully she can get it done for us.
Yep, I went with the same exact thing. Edgar money line at plus 132. It looks like, and yeah, I just think at the end of the day, it's a close fight. It's a close fight. I think it even goes the distance. And then on top of that, just the weight miss for Santos. Just, like I said, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. And I think this fight is primarily going to take place against the cage. I think on the ground, and I've seen Santos make a lot of mistakes. I've seen her get her back taken. I've seen her get controlled on the mat, and I feel like Edgar can go out there potentially implement her ground game here, win some minutes on top. Not something I feel amazing about, but I definitely wouldn't feel amazing about laying minus 150 on Santos. So I think it's close. Give me the plus money. I'm right there with you. We're both on the Edgar money line there. Low level MMA fight. Latrell said, you said it, not me. I didn't say it. Sean says Edgar has never lost consecutive fights as a pro. There you go. Mikey liking Luana. I don't know if he likes his looks or her looks or the skills. We'll have to see. And Melon saying Edgar 1 or 2 sub 7-1. I don't know. Do you see a sub, Gordo?
She hasn't really been a submission or position type of person for me, so she's not really someone who I'd bank on getting a submission. But if you're getting odds like that, it could be worth a stab. I do think she's going to have positions to get there.
Brady, please say the fight sucks. Ignore the snowflakes. Your vibe is as good as your analysis. Yeah, people were getting upset that I was crapping on the Rayon dos Santos Talita Allanar fight in my prediction video, and people were so mad about it. So I said I'm going to stop doing that. We'll see, Marcella. We'll see. Let's see. Plus 130. How are we going to catch them, boys? Oh, trust me. There's
fights to go.
I have something big. I can't go big every fight. I gotta cool it a little bit, but yeah, there's gonna be something big, Blum Dog. Don't you worry. We got Joel in the chat. What is up, Joel? There it is. Finally pulled up. Let's go, fellas. Glad I caught you before the fights. Let's hit some long shots. Let's do it. We need some long shots. Don't bet on WMMA. Need to on this show, but in terms of my actual track bets, I don't think I have anything on WMMA this week. The women's fights are whack this week. Yeah, I'd lean towards that opinion as well. All right. We'll move on then to a really good fight. I'm really looking forward to this one. It was a fight that we were supposed to watch last week, a fight that last week it was one of my favorite fights in the card. This week, it's one of my favorite fights in the card. We got Mel Costa going against Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia had to pull out last week due to an illness. They bumped up the fight a whole weight class. Steve Garcia weighed in, looked good, and this fight should happen. I mean, I hope this fight happens. So we'll see if Steve Garcia shows up. But yeah, I'll kick this one off. For me, I'm going to take. What do I even have written down here? I'm going to go with the Mel Costa submission round 2-3 combo on FanDuel Sportsbook at plus 1,000. He has a lot of submissions on his record, Mel Costa. I forget how much. I think he might even have like more submissions than knockouts on his record. And you take a look at Steve Garcia. He's getting hurt a lot. He's only been knocked out once, Steve Garcia, but I could see like a club and sub. I could see him implementing some grappling down the stretch if Steve Garcia starts to slow down. Costa was very close to getting Austin Lingo out of there with the sub as well. So I think the sub is super live. The sub in general is plus 500, but I'm going to shoot for the moon here and go with the 2-3 sub. I think it could very well be in play if he does implement that grappling game, which, like I said, he's a really good grappler. It's just I'm not sure if he's going to use it here. I think these guys might try to stand and bang, but if he does, I mean, I think the sub's super live there. So give me Costa 2-3 sub combo. Gordo, what are you liking for this fight here?
Aside from the first part of the night, we've seen eye to eye on a lot of these things, which could be very good, but also very bad. I'm on a similar boat here, and I do think if it comes down to a best bet, I might like an under here because I do think Garcia's live. But again, we're trying to cover some ground. So for me, I have straight up, not the same balls as you, but just straight up Mel Costa round 2. And I do think that he's able to have some success. He is the more technical fighter. And although Garcia pushes forward, we've seen not only that he's had issues cutting weight, but I like the fact that Mel Costa can implement different changes after that first round. I think that he has the ability to get a finish either round, but the second one might be where he's able to have more success, make the reads. I think technically Costa is levels above here when it comes to being able to mix in the striking. And we know that after that first round, if things aren't going his way, he can change up the grappling as well. If a sub round 2 hits, well, we're both very happy, but I do think that second round, you're able to get a decent plus money number on someone who is smart enough to make the adjustments and get someone in Garcia who just missed weight, wasn't looking good, out of there in the second round.
I like it. What are the odds on that?
I have here Costa round 2 plus 480, the best available.
Plus 480. See if I can get you a better price. Yeah, 480. All right. So maybe we both hit it. That'd be nice. So, okay, you're going Costa round 2, no method, a plus 480. I'm going Costa to win by submission in rounds 2 or round 3 at plus 1,000. I like it. All right. Sean saying don't sleep on Garcia here. He's a very live dog. Yeah, I think you can make a case for a lot of the dogs on this card. Maybe. I mean, I think for Garcia to win this fight, it's going to have to be a knockout. And I don't know if he's knocking out Costa. We'll have to see, though. I'd rather watch a Brendan Schaub special than watch WMA. Oh, come on, Evan. I mean, some WMA fights are solid. Do you see this fight hitting the third round? I don't. I lean towards it not. But we've seen crazier things happening. I think this fight does end probably within the first 2, I'd say. I'm feeling a decision. No idea why. I hope not. I mean, I have a bet on violence here, so I hope not for my bet's sake. Joel liking that Costa round 2. Yeah, Gordo did. You hit the Bellotto round 2 last time. What were the odds on that? Do you remember?
It was plus 400, and it was my best bet as well. So, yeah, plus 400. So, hopefully it's got some magic there.
Yeah, so you hit the Bellotto round 2, and then Lou Betcha hit something crazy as well.
Brundage KO1. Or
it was Brundage KO1, yeah. So that was big, and then that helped Lou out as well. We got Torin in the chat. What is up, Torin? How you doing? Melon liking the Garcia points. I don't know. I think if it goes to decision, it's probably Costa. I just really struggle to see Garcia winning a decision, to be honest. The Costa fight, as far as I'm concerned, it's still happening. But we'll see. He still has time to pull out, so we'll see. Is there a truck by you, Gordo, or what?
Yeah, that's me. My bad.
You're good. I was like, what's going on? All right, we're going to move on to the people's main event, guys. We have Hung Sung Park going against Shannon Ross. We got Hung Sung Park minus 600. Shannon Ross plus 425. Gordo, I have a feeling I know what you're going to play here. I don't think the chat's going to like it, but what do you got here?
This is ruining my credibility right here, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm not proud of it. We're going Shannon Ross, man. I know it's not a pretty look on paper, but these odds plus 475 on someone who I do believe to have a better overall skill set then his opponent here is pretty good. Not only does he face a better level of competition, but he averages a ton of strikes per minute. He is very active. And although Hang Sung Park is undefeated, he's going out there and he's facing a lot of low level of competition that he's able to exploit, especially in his last matchup. He had someone in front of him who he had a clear path against and instead dropped the early rounds and didn't grapple to that third round. I think there's a lot of improvement from the Park side. Now, let me get the elephant out of the room. Shannon Moraes has no chin. Like, he has no chin whatsoever. So this bet could lose within the first 30 seconds. But I believe, although this is not a thing, if they were at chin parity, you could say that this line could be even or even Ross to be a favorite. Because I do think when it comes skill for skill, Ross is able to have some success here. Throws a ton of volume. Is he going to be a good technical striker and the best opponent Park has faced to date? A ton of things to say, man. It's a risky spot. I just think that if I got to catch people in front of me, I got to make these big bets. Ross is the type of person to do it. It's terrifying, but let's do it. Plus 475.
Ross money line plus 475. The chat is blowing up. The chat's blowing up. Gord, no. I mean, I agree with a lot of what Gordo's saying here. I mean, I don't think Park's that great. I think, like Gordo said, skill for skill, these guys are pretty close. The problem is, though, Park has shown to be able to take somewhat of a punch, whereas Shannon Ross has shown no ability to take a punch. So I think people are really trying to fade Shannon Ross's durability here, which is fine. It makes sense. But what I'm going to go with here is going to be not something, I don't know. I don't feel like it's that crazy, but I feel like this fight is going to get extended. I mean, this fight is a flyweight fight at the end of the day. I know Ross got finished in 60 seconds in his last two fights, but what are the odds that happens again, right? I think this fight gets extended. Park kind of takes his time. Park doesn't have a lot of power, which maybe that matters, maybe it doesn't, but I see this fight getting extended second, third round potentially. I think the fight starts round 2 is kind of sneaky because, like, for a flyweight fight, like, the fight starts round 2 is like a round of pick in which you just never see for a flyweight fight. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fade the round 1 here for Park. I'm going to say he starts going later in the fight. And I think a sub's live. I know everybody's thinking the knockout, which it's very possible, but I'm thinking like a club and sub could be in play here. Park's a grappler. I mean, that's his base. He's a very, very good grappler, very slick grappler. I see a club and sub here personally, and I think it comes in the second or third round. I can't choose between the second or third, so I'm going to do the combo on FanDuel, just like I did in the last fight. Park sub, round 2 or 3, plus 600. Not crazy odds, but I think it's very live. He took a while to get going in his debut. It took him to like the third round. I swear, it took him to the third round to finally start fighting. Like, so maybe he comes out a little bit hotter. If he does, maybe he does finish Ross early on. But I say this fight gets extended a little bit. I'm looking for a second or third round sub, or even a second or third round finish in general. I think is in play for Park. So we'll see. And if Shannon Ross pulls it off, Gore, that'd be probably one of the best calls of the year. I mean, that's a big.
You know what? Like, you sit here and you go, gun to my head, who do I think wins? Life on the line. Yeah. I'm not picking Shannon Ross, but I'm sitting here 23 points ahead out of first place. I need to cover some ground. And what am I going to do? Am I going to play Hang Sung Park inside the distance minus 375? There's no value left in that. I'm here to try to go out there and find these long shots. And I'm going to take the shot on someone who, although he has no chin, is going to be the best level of competition Park has seen and is going to throw a lot of different looks to a fighter who has fought very, very low level of competition in the regional scene. I don't care that if this bet loses, because it's going to be one that, yeah, I understand he's got the risk with the chin. His upside is there. The line is off. Plant my flag.
Let's go. I cannot wait for that fight. I'm not going to be watching the first round because I do have a bet on the Park 2-3 props. So I'm going to not watch the first round. I can't. My heart can't take it. But I'll be tuning in round 2. Hopefully if the fight's not over yet. Josh saying, get some sleep ready. Have not got any sleep the last 4 days. It's been rough. I was up at like 5 o'clock in the morning last night. Slept through my alarm today. It's been a rough time. Park round 3 TKO. That's kind of what I'm leaning like later. I'm leaning later. Park to win and over 1.5 is plus 200. That's kind of wild considering he's minus 600. I don't hate that. Mellon saying Ross submission 25. I don't know about that. I mean, a Ross sub would quite literally shock me. What do you think about that, Gordo?
I wouldn't expect it. I understand the thought behind it, right? Like the Asian grappling fade, but I don't think that Park is that bad from top position. We haven't seen him too much on the ground, so before we're able to see that, in my eyes, Ross is more of a ground and pound over submission type of guy.
Yeah, and Bob's saying plus 425. You don't have to be right too often. You don't. But when you're betting minus 600, you do have to be right pretty much every time, or you're screwed. Park might screw all the parlays. We shall see. And DB saying Park starts off super slow, gets going with 2 minutes left in the first round. He does. He takes a little bit to get going, gets his reads, which that's kind of why I think this fight gets a little bit extended. I don't think it was the distance, but I think it's extended here. I was able to get I was able to snipe the shortest fight of the night prop on the Ross fight for plus 1,400. Hey, I mean, it's happened the last 2 times. I mean, I actually don't hate that. You never know. Maybe he gets knocked out on like the walkout. Maybe the air conditioning's on a little bit too much in the apex and it gets him out of there. I don't know. Plus 1,400 though. I don't hate that. The over one. Yep.
What happened? Like, who do you give him if Ross wins? Like, do we get like the winner of Jimmy Flick versus Malcolm Gordon? Like,
yes, do it. That should be a fun fight. I think Malcolm Gordon versus Shannon Ross would be fun as well. That'd be a fun fight. I see the over 1.5 is becoming a popular Twitter pick today. Yeah, I see that as well. A lot of people on it. I like it. I don't have the balls to play it, but I like it. Kind of scary. It's terrifying. All right, that would be incredible. The AC or the Cutman Tate. I mean, sometimes Cutman Tate goes a little bit hard with the Vaseline. Maybe he puts it on a little bit too heavy and wobbles Shannon Ross. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen in the UFC. All right, we're going to move on to the next fight. We have Kevin Jusay going against Song Canan. We got Kevin Jusay around minus 145. We got Song Canan at plus 125. I'm going to kick us off here. I'm not going to go crazy on this one here, but I'm going to go with the Song money line here, plus 130. I just think it's a close fight. I'm not too high on Kevin Jusay. I think he's good. Like he's a skilled fighter, judo black belt, solid striker, trains at City Kickboxing. I think he's a skilled fighter, but he's very low volume. He's very hittable. And I went back and watched that Kiefer Crosby fight. And I mean, Kiefer Crosby, who I don't think is even close to being UFC caliber, was just piecing Jusay up. I mean, Crosby outlanded him like 39-29. It just wasn't a good look. Song Canan is a guy that everybody thought was a bum, maybe even including me, right? I thought this guy was potentially a bum, but his last couple of fights, he's showing that he is indeed not a bum. Knocking down Ian Gary, winning the first round against Gary, almost getting him out of there. That was huge. And then he pulled off a major upset in his last fight against everybody's favorite, newcomer, Rolando Bedoya. I mean, Bedoya was like minus 300 in that fight, and Song went out there and beat him pretty handily. I mean, the fight really wasn't that close. So this is a fight that I do think is going to be competitive. I like the skill set of Jusay, but I don't like the hitability. I don't like the volume, and I think Song's going to make this a very close and competitive fight. I don't know if he gets Jusay out of there. Jusay has a chin on him. He can absolutely take a shot, but I could see him maybe, dropping Jusay, wobbling him, but I'm kind of leaning Song decision. Just give me the money line, though, just in case he does knock him out. Give me Song money line, plus 130. Don't feel amazing about it, but I think he's very, very live to win this fight. Gordo, what do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted by the chat there. Yeah, one where I agree with you. I originally have here Canan Song plus 130 written down, and I do think that this line could be flipped. Additionally, if you throw in the fact that this was going to be a fight that was supposed to take place over there, an Asian fight card, maybe they're trying to get the hometown guy there to have some success. I completely like the Canan Song side of things here, but at the end of the day, it's not about my best bet. It's about getting first place. So let's take some more big plus money shots. Let's go with Canan Song by KO at plus 370. We look at overall history of Canan Song. He is a guy who is power-based, doesn't always have the best output, doesn't always have the much ground tendency. He wants to go out there and swing heavy. And against Rolando Bedoya, sure, go to decision. Bedoya can eat everything. Although Jusay has a chin, he does get hit very often. And when it comes down to level of competition, I do believe Canan Song is going to be one of the more tougher guys or one of the harder hitters that he's ever fought. And I do think that we have a possibility to see a KO on this side of things here. Now, not something that, again, is going to happen 100% of the time. I just think it happens more than plus 370 entails. And I got some ground to cover. So let's do that there.
All right. Taking the Song KO plus 370. I'm taking the Song money line plus 130 on the same side. Yeah, I could see KO. I'm kind of leaning more towards decision personally, but decision's probably not anywhere near like the plus 370. So yeah, it's definitely worth a shot here. All right, we got Victor in the chat. What is up, Victor de Jesus? Best of luck to you today. And Roland saying same here. Canan wins in the over 1.5 for plus 200. I don't hate it. And Melon on the Jusay 2-3 KO. Like I could see like a Jusay third round knockout. I think that could potentially be in play. We have seen Song slow down at times. Don't think that's the worst look in the world. But yeah, guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a quick recap of the prelim bets from each of us here. I'll kick us off. I'm taking Dos Santos KO3 plus 3,500, shooting for the moon there. Tyara sub plus 115. Edgar money line plus 132. Costa to win in subs. Costa win by sub in rounds 2 or 3 plus 1,000. Park to win by sub in rounds 2 or 3 plus 600. Song money line plus 130. Gordo, you're taking Allanar to win in rounds 1 or round 2 plus 550. Tyra inside the distance minus 135. Edgar money line plus 132. Costa round 2 plus 480. Ross money line plus 475. And then Song KO plus 370. Does all that look right to you?
It does, and it looks like we're going to be sweating out some fun ones for sure.
Yes. I want to kick the night off right with like a Santos KO3. Just get me right back into it. That would be nice. But I have an even bigger prop coming on the main card, believe it or not. So that is the prelims there. Are you betting all of those? So this is the best bet show, Get Darst. If you're just joining us, we've been doing it all year. Basically, I usually put the rules in the chat, but I stopped doing that because we've been doing it for so long. Basically, you get 10 bets. You put 1 unit on each bet, and then we track all our results. Right now, we have the standings. We have Cody Blood Money in first there with 43.73 units. Lou Betcha very close behind him, 43.11. Gordo 19, Narco 9. I'm sitting in fifth with 1.46. So we're going to get a total of 100 bets by the time it's all said and done there. So yeah, so far we have 5 today. We have 5 more to go, and we each have a pass left as well, Gordo. All right. So yeah, we'll move on to the main card then. And we have Jung Young Park going against Andre Muniz. We got Jung Young Park minus 200, Andre Muniz plus 170. And I'll let you kick this one off, Gordo. What are you liking for this main card opener? Very, very fascinating fight here.
It is, and I think it's going to be a very, very fun one, not only from an entertaining perspective, but DraftKings implications as well. And it's one where I do have a bet on the fight doesn't go the distance. Now, again, that is chalky. That's not something I want to play here. I'm instead looking for some big plus money and an ability to play this. And I think when I look at overall paths to victory, I'm kind of like the Muniz side here, right? Jung Young Park, again, someone who is really a cardio-based guy, is a guy who's going to go out there and try to drown you, which doesn't really bode well to Muniz's cardio issues. But you look at the level of competition, you look who Muniz is facing. He's facing top of the division guys, whereas Jung Young Park has not faced a grappler in years. You look at his level of competition, it has been against some very, very, very poor grapplers, and that's why he's able to have so much success. Now, I completely see a world where Park drowns Muniz and gets a late finish, but I'm going with some Muniz early success. He was able to grapple and submit some very, very good grapplers, and I do think he has an opportunity to get Park out of there, and we're getting some plus money on that side here. I'm taking Muniz round 1 or 2 at plus 325. I think he has the opportunity to do it. I think he has some submission upside, and I do think that although he is someone it's hard to trust down the stretch with that grappling, with that cardio, is someone who is very, very dangerous early on.
You said a plus 225, right?
325.
320. Okay. Oh, okay. I like it. Yeah. I mean, we're seeing the fight the exact same way again, but we're attacking it slightly differently. So yeah, I'm seeing it the exact same way. I think Muniz is very live early. I think the first round sub is very much on the table. I think a lot of people are very low on Muniz right now after, back-to-back losses, not only back-to-back losses, but kind of how he's looking in the losses, but a different stylistic matchup here, right? Like he's not going to go against a, Brennan Allen or Paul Craig here. He's going against Jung Young Park. So yeah, I think Muniz can definitely get takedowns here early on. I think he's live for the submission early on. I think Muniz can sub anybody. I mean, if you're subbing Jacare Souza, I don't care if he was, 41, 40 at the time. I mean, that's very impressive to me. And Muniz has multiple first-round submissions in the UFC. So, yeah, I think Muniz early makes a lot of sense. I'm going the other route, though. I'm going with a Park late. I think that if this fight reaches the second round, third especially, Park can drown this guy. Park can break this guy. And the reason I say that is because Park, as of late, he's been doing that. He's been drowning guys. He's been breaking guys. He's been getting guys out of there late. He's been using his cardio pressure and pace as a weapon and finishing guys down the stretch. And Muniz is breakable. Muniz doesn't have the best cardio. Muniz has 6 losses, all 6 of them coming inside the distance. So, yeah, I see this fight as Muniz early, Park late. I like Muniz sub 1, but I'm going to go with Park to win in round 3 plus 1,000 on Bet365. No method here. I know he's been getting back-to-back subs. I kind of personally lean like a TKO, but maybe he does sub him. I mean, that would be incredible if he did. But yeah, give me Park round 3 plus 1,000. If this fight hits the third round, that is going to be live as ever, in my opinion. I just don't think Muniz has the best cardio or heart. And if Park does push a pace, I feel like he can get him out of there. DB saying, what is the line for the fight doesn't go the distance? Minus 200. Did you get it at minus 200 or?
I did.
Around
I
there.
got a single unit 2.5 chalky play, but one where my line's telling me it's a good one, and I'm going to go 2.5 unit there.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm playing Violence, just playing it slightly different. I played Muniz early, parlay props like Roland's saying, sprinkle round 1 sub for Muniz, then park 2-3. I think that's kind of how I'm playing it. We got David in the chat. What is up, David? Best of luck to you tonight. Enjoy the fights. It should be a good card tonight. Either fighter to win in rounds 1 or 3 plus 100. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. You can get Muniz round 1 win condition there. Parks round 3 win condition. I don't think that's terrible. Would suck if it finished in round 2 though. Good Muniz call. Yeah, I mean, I think if he wins, it's early. I like Gordo's look there. Jung has 3 rear naked chokes in a row inside 10 minutes. Brady, give me Jung round 1 or 2. I'd be shocked if he submitted Muniz in the first round. I know he submitted Dennis Tuoluen in the first round, but I mean, should that even count? Should that win count, Gordo? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe round 2 though. I'll give you that to get Darce. Maybe round 2. I'd be looking at the 2-3 instead, and maybe even get better odds on that as well. And Muniz quits too often, and Park is the opposite. I kind of lean that way as well. All right. Should be a very fun fight, though. I'm really looking forward to Muniz Park, one of my favorite fights on the card. Okay, moving on. We got Nasrat Haqparast going against Jamie Malarkey. We got Haqparast minus 190. Jamie Malarkey sitting at plus 165. I think I went first last time, Gordo, so I'll let you go first this time. What are you liking here?
Yeah, not much, if I'm being honest. I do think Nasrat is somebody who I predict to get it done, and I think he can get it done a multitude of ways. And when I'm lacking confidence like this is going to be the one I'm using my pass on. I think Haqparast has the ability to go out there and out-volume Malarkey to a decision, but we've also seen Malarkey's chin not always hold up. And although Haqparast is not the most proficient KO artist, I do think that he has that road as well. I think there's just a wide variety of ways this fight could go down, and this is not one I want too much financial involvement in. Give me the pass.
Yeah, I'm not using my pass just yet. I'm going to go with Haqparast knockout plus 420. And the reason being is because he's going against Jamie Malarkey, which Jamie Malarkey, I mean, this guy has just taken a ton of damage lately. His chin just seems to be getting like worse and worse every fight. I mean, got dropped in the second round by John McDessie, got knocked out by Naimov as a massive favorite in that fight. And Haqparast, he has power. You know, the knockouts haven't translated yet, but this guy's throwing hard, and he's throwing with a lot of volume as well. I don't like how Malarkey, his face gets busted up with like the first punch that lands. I think, you know, if the AC is on too much in the apex, this guy's face is red, like walking into the cage. It's crazy. Just does not wear damage well, Jamie Malarkey. So yeah, I think Haqparast is going to hit Malarkey in the face many times. And it wouldn't shock me, or it shouldn't shock anybody if Malarkey went down. I don't think Malarkey has the best chin. I don't think he has the best durability. Most importantly, I don't think he has the best striking defense as well. And Haqparast dishes out a ton of volume. So Haqparast, not really a knockout guy, at least in the UFC. Outside the UFC is a different story. But inside the UFC, not a ton of knockouts yet. I think he has one. But if he's going to knock somebody out, it's going to be a guy like Jamie Malarkey. And plus 420, I think it could be worth a shot there. So I'm taking Haqparast KO. Plus 420, you are passing on this fight. You have used up your one and only pass for the card. Johnny saying over 2.5. I'm kind of leaning I don't know. I don't see Malarkey finishing Haqparast. I'll say that. But I think Haqparast is live for a finish. Malarkey decision, I think that's how he would win. I think it'd probably be like a robbery decision as well, because the judges love Malarkey for some reason. So I would kind of lean like maybe a split decision for Malarkey. Bad line, skip. I feel it. Malarkey's not great. I really never thought he was great, but you know, a lot of people really like Jamie Malarkey. They bet him up to like a minus 600 favorite against Naimov, and even against McDessie, he was like minus 200 in what was a really close fight. Jamie round 3 sub 50 to 1. Melon. I don't know. What do you think, Gordo? 50 to 1 round 3?
Well, that's a number that'll pay well for you, but not my predicted outcome. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna play Malarkey decision plus 425, that's not bad at all. But yeah, I really struggle to see him having success in the wrestling, but we'll definitely see. We got Jason in the chat. What is up, Jason? Throw Brady a like. So many great betting tips. Appreciate you, Jason. Thank you for hanging out. And yeah, guys, like the video if you guys have not already. Got a good crowd in here for a card that is not the best, but next week's gonna be the best. I'm looking forward to 296 next week. Heck yeah. All right. Kelvin Gastelum. Yeah, Gordon, I was doing my prediction video earlier this week, and I had my graphics up on the screen, right? I look up at the screen, and I'm like, did I make a mistake? Why is Kelvin Gastelum on my graphics? And I'm like, it took me a second. It's like, oh, that's Haqparast. Everything's good. But they look so alike that it's crazy.
Dude, they do. And if Jamie Malarkey looked a bit like Sean Brady, maybe we'd have a different read on this one. But no, I think this is Gaslam's revenge here.
Yeah, Malarkey is definitely not Sean Brady. I had half a unit on McDessie decision in the last fight, plus 500. Gosh, I thought McDessie won.
Me too.
But we were in Australia, I believe. Yeah, that sucks. That was a big plus money number there. All right. Malarkey had 3 takedowns recently, not against McDessie, did he? I don't think he got many takedowns against McDessie. Let me see. He had no takedowns against McDessie. That's not a good look. We have 3 takedowns against Naimov and Prado. He did, but I don't know. I don't see it personally, but I've been wrong before. We shall see. All right, we'll move on to the next fight. We have the late notice fight. Tim Elliott showing up here a couple days ago, accepting the fight, said he's getting on the plane on his way here. I don't know what to think about this one. This one's kind of sketching me out. We got, Tim Elliott minus 155, Suma Dargi plus 135. So my pick is Tim Elliott. And if Tim Elliott was coming in here on a full camp, like if I knew he was coming in here on a full camp, well prepared, ready to go, I'd probably be max betting Tim Elliott minus 155. With the short notice aspect of things, it makes it a little bit more trickier for me just because, what has Elliott been doing? Has he been training? Is he ready for this fight? Is he prepared to go 15 minutes? I'm not sure. So, yeah, stylistically, I love the matchup for him, but the short notice aspect of things is kind of keep me off from the Elliott side. One spot I was looking at and I had circled after doing my research was what's a fairly obvious outcome is Tim Elliott by sub, right? And I'm thinking, man, Tim Elliott by sub could be a great like sneaky-ish spot this week. Not crazy sneaky, but we should get good odds on it, right? Tim Elliott has like 1 submission win in like 20 UFC fights. It's crazy. He's been in the UFC for over 10 years, only 1 sub win. So I'm thinking, hey, we might get a good line on Elliott by sub. It's like plus 200, plus 250 for Elliott by sub. I don't love it. I also looked at the fight by sub as well. And there's a spot that is kind of crazy here, Gordo. It's a spot that really makes no sense. But somebody in my live stream yesterday shouted it out. And he was like, Dargi by sub. And I'm like, Tim Elliott loves to get subbed. He loves to get subbed. Tim Elliott's been submitted 6 times. I think 5 of those come in the UFC. He gets subbed all the time, right? And I look into it more later that night. And I was up at like 5 o'clock in the morning looking into it. I'm like, okay, can Dargi pull this off by sub? He has 1 submission win. And I was like, okay, has he attempted any subs in the UFC? And fair enough, he has. He's attempted 2 submissions in the UFC. It was his debut against Luis Smolka. And that was a couple years ago. So it's the line, man. It's the line. I think the most likely outcome here is Elliott by submission, but that's only plus 200, 250. That's not going to catch me up here. I need to catch up, and the way I'm going to catch up is going to be Suma Dargi by submission plus 2,500. I love that line. Elliott loves getting subbed. Elliott's coming in here on short notice. It could look a little bit like the Royval fight where Elliott goes all out for the wrestling, gasses out and gets subbed. Could be a club and sub as well, plus 2,500. One time, Suma Dargi. One time. Gordo, what are you liking for this fight here?
Hey, power to you for that one. That's an interesting one to say the least. Wouldn't be on my bingo card, but the odds are right? If the price is right, you go for it. I talked a lot about value with Shannon Ross. There's probably value in that one too. So I am on the Tim Elliott side this week. I'm willing to get the price discount to offset the short notice nature. I do think with a full camp, you get a much larger favorite here in Tim Elliott. And I think not only due to level of competition, but that ability for Suma Dargi to be taken down, to be submitted, and have all these issues really looms large in this spot here. And I do think that Tim Elliott is going to have a stylistic matchup. Tim Elliott has fought this higher level of competition. He's been able to continue to push a pace. And maybe I'm just a softie for Tim Elliott, but I love his awkward style. I love his ability to go out there and pull off upsets. And I think in this spot here, he's getting someone who, although is dangerous, doesn't have the same ground competencies as the people he's fought. He was up 2 rounds to none to Muhammad Makayev in those matchups. He was going to win a decision going to the scorecards, got submitted. Does Suma Dargi have that same grappling upside? Not really. Maybe he has upside in general, but I do think this is a matchup that Tim Elliott can go out there and succeed. And unfortunately for you guys, I don't have a good plus 2,500 number. This is my last safety play of the week. If I could pass on this one, I would, but I'm on Tim Elliott money line, minus 135 there, best available, or minus 150. I don't know how accurate that minus 135 still is to this point. I did play Tim Elliott straight at minus 150 anyways, so I do think he's able to get it done for us. Interesting matchup, a fun one on DraftKings as well due to the salary disparity, but one where I think Elliott uses that ground game and takes over.
Yeah, I'll give you 135. It's Betway. I'm not sure. I think they're a legit book, but yeah, 135. We'll see what happens there. And yeah, I do lean the Elliott side, by the way. It's just, my goodness, plus 2,500. We shall see. And yeah, I was deep in the lab last night, very deep in the lab. Yeah, plus 2,500. It's a big line. It's a big line.
Just wait.
Elliott's always in the gym. Apparently, like in his interview, he was saying he was coming off the couch, basically. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, if I knew for a fact Elliott is like 100% ready to go, I would be betting him here. I can't quite get there. Elliott's always drunk, though. I mean, he looks like he's a guy that does a lot of drinking, but I don't think he'll be drunk for this fight. Sue, round 3 sub. Yeah, round 3 sub is plus 10,000. I looked at it. I looked right at it, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Quick note for everyone next week. Okay, we got a quick note here. Patty finishes Tony with inside 2 rounds, and Vicente finishes Ian inside 2 rounds. Have a nice day. I like the first one. I think Patty can probably finish Tony, but Vicente finishing Ian would be incredible there. Tim Elliott drunk and in the gym. Where do I sign up? Heck yeah. And then somebody else mentioned that we have not seen Dargi in about a year and a half. I think he was hurt, so maybe we'll see improvements. I don't know, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this fight as well. All right, next we got the co-main event. We have Anthony Smith going against Khalil Rountree. We got Rountree minus 190, Anthony Smith plus 165. Gordo, what are you liking for this fight here?
What a fun one. And let me go out there and say that I completely see an opportunity for Khalil Rountree to go out there and nuke someone in Anthony Smith. That is definitely a path to victory for someone who is as powerful as Rountree versus an aging fighter in Smith. But when it comes down to paths to victory, give me the dog. I think Anthony Smith has not only been facing high-level competition, but has a ton of assets here, whether it be that length to go out there and out-volume Rountree to decision. The same guy who was out-volume and lost to Marcin Prachnio by decision. I do think Smith has the opportunity to win by that way. Additionally, I do think he has ground game upside to go out there and take advantage of someone in Rountree who has been taken down, has been controlled, has been submitted, has been ground and pounded, and has really shown weakness on the ground. Recently has fought people who were willing to stand and bang with him, and that's why he's winning the way he is here. But I do think we have some interesting numbers for someone who is as technical and as smart as someone Anthony Smith, in my opinion. I'm taking Anthony Smith by submission plus 600. To me, this is an opportunity for him to have some ground success. Again, not a lock. There's completely a world where he gets nuked, but we're playing odds, we're playing numbers, and I do think in a ground matchup, Smith can have success. Now, it wasn't long ago that Smith was either a slight favorite or a slight dog. A very close on fight against Devin Clark. He went out there, submitted him, showed a ground masterclass here, and I think that he's able to adapt to his opponent. Should be a very fun matchup. I think the dog is wrongfully priced here, should be a bit closer, but I completely understand the risk playing an aging fighter in Anthony Smith.
Yeah, I think there's a couple different ways to attack this fight. I think Smith sub, even maybe the Smith late sub props could be interesting. I think Rountree KO. I think the Rountree early knockout props could be interesting. I do lean towards those. But yeah, I'm sitting right now in 5th place in the best bet competition. I am down about 40 units behind Cody and Lou. So yeah, down about 40 units, sitting in 5th place. I need something big here, and Rountree round 1 is not going to help me out. What I'm going to give here is actually, and I did this the last show I was on. I threw out a draw there, and there was a draw on that card, and it was the fight after. I was 1 fight away from calling a draw. I forget which fight it was. I think it was UFC 295. There was a draw, and I picked the fight ahead of it to be the draw. So I was so close. But yeah, this has draw potential, I'd say. I mean, if this fight goes the distance, I could definitely see a 10-8 on either side. I think Rountree could 10-8 Anthony Smith, whether it be the first or second round. We've seen Anthony Smith get 10-8'd many times before in the UFC. And then, yeah, I mean, if Rountree gets taken down here, he very well could get 10-8'd. So I think there's 10-8 potential on either side. I think if this fight does go the distance, the draw is super live, and I need something big here. So I'm going to take the draw here, plus 8,000, and we'll see if it hits. I mean, if it hits, I win the competition. So we'll see.
You do.
So
actually, I wouldn't count out Lou with 1 week left, man. That guy would go yam bag on you.
I know. So Rountree, Smith, draw plus 8,000. You guys heard it here first. I mean, you guys heard it here first. What a call that would be. All right. Doesn't go the distance. I lean towards it finishing for sure, but it's minus 350. Just really wide odds on that one. If Smith has any brains left, he will grapple. That'd be wise. That'd be very wise. Smith round 2. Yeah, I think Smith round 2, round 3 subs could be interesting. I mean, they're crazy prices. Dan saying the fight doesn't go decision seems like a great parlay piece. Cover both sides. Cheers, gents. What is up, Dan? Yeah, fight doesn't go. Should hit. Smith has looked really bad in his last 2 fights. Leg kicks have been a weakness for Smith. Yeah, that's why we're kind of saying he needs to grapple. And you see Smith quitting on the stool. I don't know if we would ever see Smith quit on the stool. I don't know. Rountree round 2. And I can't wait for the post-fight interview with Smith making excuses for losing. Everybody always has excuses. It's kind of how it goes. And we got Roland saying, I'm going to say finish only. Rountree is the way to go, minus 220. Don't love the odds personally, but I kind of do lean that way myself. Smith by verbal comment. Heck yeah. All right. And Kieran's going to be back next week to remind us. Thank you for reminding us next week that Patty's going to finish Tony and Ian's going to get knocked out as well. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Let's move on to the main event. Before we do so, if you guys have not already, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go check out Gordo as well. Subscribe to him, Plays and Fades Sports. And going to break down this main event. We got Song Yadong going against Chris Gutierrez. I'll kick this one off. So if you guys have not been paying attention, I have not used a pass yet. This will be my pass. With that said, though, I do like Song Yadong quite a bit here. I think Song Yadong's a very good parlay piece. If you're looking for a parlay piece this week, I think he's solid. Very wide odds here, but I think he's somebody that I feel pretty comfortable in winning this week. There's a lot of reasons to like him. He's younger, more likely to make improvements. I think he's fought the better competition. 5-round experience. We've seen him in a 4th. We've seen him in a 5th. He has good cardio, good volume. I think he can wrestle a little bit here as well. Just a lot of reasons to like Song Yadong. The reason I am passing, though, is because I don't want to give out the money line because that wouldn't help me at all. And I'm not sure whether he knocks out Gutierrez. I'm not sure if he wins a decision. I'm kind of leaning either like a decision or maybe like a late finish type thing for Song Yadong, but nothing I feel too confident. So I'm going to pass on this one, but I do like Song Yadong a decent amount this week. Gordo, you have no passes left, so what is your best bet for this fight here?
Yeah, I really do like Song Yadong in this one as well. There's so many reasons to like him here. Not only is the card really built around him here, but he's getting a guy in Chris Gutierrez who's getting a huge step up. Now, to show you my love for Chris Gutierrez, I bet Pedro Muniz. I bet Alatang Haley. Is that a good bet in hindsight? No, but it shows me that I do think Chris Gutierrez has fundamental flaws. He's a one-dimensional striker who doesn't do as well on his back foot. And although he is on his bike all the time, can be taken down, can be hit. And a lot of these reasons that I don't really think Gutierrez has much of a path to victory here aside from those leg kicks and really running away here in this matchup. And of course, it's an MMA fight. Anything can happen, but I do like Song Yadong, and I do think he has a multitude of ways of getting it done. Chris Gutierrez taken to a draw by Cody Durden due to grappling, and I do think Song Yadong will be the stronger and superior grappler shall he decide to go that route. Now, what's the most likely outcome? Probably a Song Yadong KO in my eyes, but that doesn't pay that well. That doesn't get me to the top. You know what does? A Song Yadong submission, and we're doing that at plus 1,000. Now, there's a path to victory there. I've seen Chris Gutierrez taken down a bunch of the time, but to me, it's a path. It's something that could potentially happen. And when you're getting a minus 370 favorite with a grappling path to victory, plus 1,000 will pay you for sure. Now, again, long shot. I'm going to the top. My best bet in this one would probably just be taking Song Yadong points or taking him, getting it done in convincing fashion. However, we'll take the big 4-digit plus money number.
4-digit plus money number, Song Yadong by sub. I like it. All right. We'll hit up the chat, and then we'll give our best bet for the entire card. We'll go over everything as well. And I can't think of a path for Chris to win. That's kind of what I'm thinking as well. Song stops him under 3.5. Tony won't lose to that clown. Let's see here. Appreciate you, Pilot. Thanks for joining. Give me Song all day. Small cage. Chris will be on his bike. Song Yadong to win in rounds 2 or rounds 3. And Joel with the round 5. I'm leaning like maybe 4-5 potentially. 4-5 decision potentially. Song KO's Gutierrez. Never heard that one before. Song will definitely will fight for your money. I think both guys will fight for your money, though. Melon saying Song to win in the fight starts round 4. I kind of like that. And a Song, I admit, is a more complete fighter. 100% agreed. 100% agreed. And then Johnny like in the early Yadong TKO round 2. Suma Dargi versus Matt Schnell, but Suma Dargi becomes Matt. Maybe he does. Maybe he got Matt Schnell's submission powers. We'll have to see in a little bit.
Well for you.
It really would. It really would. All right. So what we're going to do now is go over our bets for UFC Vegas 83. And I'll kick us off here. I'm starting off with Dos Santos KO round 3 plus 3,500. Taking Tyara sub plus 115. Edgar moneyline plus 132. Costa to win by submission in rounds 2 or rounds 3 plus 1,000. Park to win by sub in rounds 2 or rounds 3 plus 600. Song moneyline plus 130. Jung Young Park round 3 no method plus 1,000. Hack Rest KO plus 420. Suma Dargi sub plus 2,500. Rountree Smith draw plus 8,000. Then I'm passing on the main event. We have Gordo. You're taking Allanar rounds 1 or rounds 2 plus 550. Tyara inside the distance minus 135. Edgar money line plus 132. Costa round 2 plus 480. Ross money line plus 475. Song KO plus 370. Muniz to win in rounds 1 or rounds 2 plus 325. You're passing on the Malarkey fight. You're taking Elliott money line minus 135. Smith submission plus 600, and then Song sub plus 1,000. Gordo, as you know, you get one best bet. Last time you hit your best bet, which was last week, it wasn't too long ago. Maybe that can carry on to this card. If you hit your best bet, the profit doubles. So say, for example, your best bet was Song sub. Instead of getting 10 units, you will then get 20 units, and then you will then be in first place if you hit that, I think. So Gordo, is all that correct? And if so, what is your best bet of the entire card?
It is correct. And, I've contemplated this best bet for the whole video. I didn't know where I was going to go. When it comes down to my favorite bet, it would probably be Tyara inside the distance, something like that. But that doesn't pay that well. And I think I got to go out here and I got to either be looking like an idiot or glorified for something that is hilarious. So Shannon Ross is going to take care of my dreams this weekend. Either he goes out there and gets nuked within 15 seconds and I laugh and move on with my day, or he makes me north of 9 units. He makes me 9.5 units in this challenge if he wins. Again, no lock. Nothing crazy here. But we're technically getting plus 950 on a fighter who is facing someone inexperienced, and at chin parity would have some success. Funny spot here. If Ross wins, maybe I'll buy a lottery ticket or something. It is a funny notion to think about. But I'm in third place. I got to swing for the fences, and this is the way to do it.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't need the best to bet the draw. I don't need 160 units. I don't need that much. I'm fine with just hitting that in general. I don't need 50 units. I'm thinking of either Jung Young Park round 3 or Costa to win it by submission in rounds 2 or rounds 3. I'll go Park round 3 for my best bet. I like it. I mean, if this fight hits the third round, I'm going to be loving that 10-1 spot there. It could happen in the second. Muniz could sub him in the first, but if this fight does reach that third round, I really do like that plus 1,000. Looking for 20 units there, which would put me definitely right back into the swing of things for the competition. So yeah, this was my last show of the year. This was Gordo's last show of the year. Gordo, thank you for coming on last week and this week. And I think this is probably the last time I'll talk to you, at least on stream, for like a month.
Not only that, but this is the last stream I'm doing. I said it on Wednesday. This is the last piece of content I'm doing for 2023. This is really the last piece of content I'm doing for 2023. Just to have a hectic week next week. And I don't even think I'll have any content for the final pay-per-view. So I'll be sure to be tuning into yours to see what your thoughts are on it. But fun concept. I've enjoyed doing these videos across the year. And I look forward to potentially doing it again next year.
Everybody's going, no, it's not the last show. It's my last show. I'm at 9 cards, my 10th card. Next week, actually, I'm planning on having 2 shows for 296. I'm going to have maybe a Friday show, and then I'm going to have like a Saturday show, both best bet with 2 different groups. We still have 7 guys to go next week. So I don't want to put like 8 guys on a panel. So I'm thinking about splitting it up, doing a show Friday and then doing a show Saturday, which I think people would like. Just do an extra stream. It's a big card. It's the last card of the year. So maybe do something like that for it. So yeah, that is about it. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the card. It's going to be a late night. I mean, my gosh, we still don't have fights till another hour. I'm already getting like tired. So, but maybe
You're
these fights
anyways. You're not sleeping anyways.
Maybe Dos Santos KO3 wakes me up. We'll find out in about an hour there. But yeah, guys, best of luck. Leave a like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. Go subscribe to Gordo and enjoy UFC Vegas 83. We'll talk to you guys soon. See you.